Hello and welcome to What's the Tea Tuesday, where we discuss relevant news and information for Harper College students. I'm Erin Graff, the Interim Associate Dean of Students.
And I'm Melanie Duhai, the Club and Organization Liaison and Interim Administrative Assistant to the Dean of Students. Today we are joined by the Director of Alumni Relations and Affinity Groups at Harper College Educational Foundation and two of our wonderful Harper College alumni. Welcome everyone. Would you please introduce yourselves for our viewers?
Sure, I'll go first. I'm Shannon Hynes. As was mentioned, I'm the Director of Alumni Relations and Affinity Groups here at Harper College, managing the Alumni Program and our outreach to alumni at Harper. I'll pass it over to Nick.
Hey, I'm Nick Wenzel, and currently I'm working as a graphic designer for the Blue Cross Blue Shield Association.
Hi everyone, this is Colin Weber calling in, and currently I work as a quality materials engineer with Lockheed Martin down in Dallas, Texas, graduate of 2014 of Harper College.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. Shannon, can you tell us a little bit about the Harper Alumni Program and what it means to be an alumnus of Harper College?
Sure, I would be happy to. So thank you so much for, first of all, to Student Involvement for having us on today. We're really excited to talk about the program and have the alumni share a little bit of their experience as a student and also as an alum. The alumni program at Harper College, what we do is we work to foster lifelong connections between our alumni and the college and create meaningful opportunities for our alumni to engage with and support the college through their time, talents, philanthropy, and resources. We work to really showcase alumni achievements, promote career connections between students and alumni, and develop opportunities for alumni to interact with students. So we communicate on a regular basis with our alumni through e-newsletters, email blasts, as well as social media to continue that engagement and to continue to encourage alumni to have a relationship with the college. We also work to create and promote opportunities for the alumni to support students through philanthropy. And many times people ask, what does it mean? Am I an alum? I didn't graduate. Well, actually, at Harper, we define an alumni, anybody is an alumni, if they've taken a class or more. So the odds are that many people possibly watching this, if they're a student and have completed a class or even a semester, you are considered an alum at Harper College.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing and explaining that. And it sounds like such a great program to be involved with. Nick and Colin, when you both attended Harper, what is it that you studied? We'll start off with you, Colin.
So at Harper College, I actually completed my associates in engineering science. Originally, when I was attending Harper, I was trying to determine what it was I was sort of interested in. I was always really good at math and really interested in chemistry. So at the time, I was thinking of combining the two interests towards an engineering degree, and that so happened to eventually sprout into a chemical engineering degree further on at the University of New Haven.
I'll jump in next. I attended in 2014. I was studying an Associate of Applied Science in Graphic Arts Technology, specializing in graphic design, but I also took a number of additional credits that weren't a part of that program, just because it would have made transferring easier. My degree, being in applied science, was a little bit more technical, less gen ed heavy, and so transferring to a 4-year also just added those on. So I believe I ended up doing 2.5 years, maybe 3 years at Harper.
Yeah, and to add on to Nick's point too, that about 2.5 years or so was the same amount of time for my associate's degree as well. And also being an engineering associate's, a lot of these were technical heavy sort of courses that transferred. And to be honest, that is one thing I'm a big advocate for, are people completing their associate's degrees, because it made it made the credit transfer process a whole lot easier. Even at a school that I went to that was a private school, they pretty much took most of my credits.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. How were you two involved on campus when you were here?
So I guess to start off with some of my involvement at Harper, my original involvement was on the cross country and track and field programs. My high school coach knew of the new coach at the time, Jim McKnighter, and his excellence that he had at Schaumburg High School, I believe it was, that he originally coached at. And since my coach essentially knew that I was kind of in between on what I wanted to do, and once he found out that I was going to attend community college at Harper, he actively pushed for me to continue the sport of running, to see where it could lead me, potentially get noticed by other schools while completing a lot of my coursework there. So I ended up starting off there, just as a regular team player, figured out a few injuries along the way, as well as some medical stuff with anemia, launching my way to the point to become a All-American both in cross country and track, completing a first place finish in the 10K for Harper College back in 2013, I believe it was now. This also expanded into my involvement with student government, originally starting off as one of the senators. I think it was the strategic planning committee was the big one that I was involved with. A lot of people loved my big picture concept and kind of applying a student input into that committee. So as that plan kept developing at the time with Dr. Ender, they continued to have me on there when I was elected as student trustee later on, I want to say the election in 2013 or 2014, partway. And then also I was a member of the environmental club, where we were able to conduct some sustainable brush burnings with some of the prairie grass areas next door, kind of build on how to have a sustainable sort of environment around you, and how to properly re-enrich your soils and other surroundings. I would say that I had my hands full there, on top of being a student tutor. So I don't want to take up too much of it, but let's see. I'm hoping that's not too much pressure for you, Nick.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty close. So when I was at Harper, I was involved mostly as the president of the Graphic Arts Design Club, which was within my area of study. I was briefly a member, a photographer, along with the Harbinger newspaper before they had closed the offices during my time there. But I would say more valuably, I was involved a lot with employment opportunities on the campus. So for almost my entire time there, I started about halfway through my first semester, I was working as a student photographer for the marketing department. So I would help with the advertising and sort of the public facing image of the college. And that was immensely valuable. In addition, I was a student aide for the press operations class for the graphic arts program. So it was sort of like a tutor, but in classroom sort of situation as well. And then for one of the summers, I also was an in-zone aide. So helped with sort of the summer camp that happens on campus. They bring on like 8 to 14-year-old kids, that sort of age range. And then I also taught, along with that, a couple photo video classes. So I taught kids smartphone video and photography and stuff like that. So lots of similar but different involvement on my end.
Absolutely. Nick and Colin, I think you both kind of speak to the experiences students can have and how those can differ and really, but also cross paths during your time. And I think that's one thing that Harper really offers, is that such a valuable student experience that allows for students to go down their path of whatever fits their career path, but still have an enjoyable student experience that aids in their value. And shifting to Shannon, I know that, our students have so many opportunities to be involved while they're currently students, but what opportunities are available for individuals who want to connect with the alumni program? Can you talk a little bit about what events and programs you host, and how an individual who is an alumnus, how they take advantage of these programs?
Sure. We have programs that both students and alumni take advantage of, really melding them together. Some more alumni focused, some student and alumni focused. I'm happy to talk about them for a few minutes. First of all, as I think the most kind of predominant thing that people think of are, we host annual events each year. We host these events to bring alumni and students together and connect people back to campus. Into the college. Some of these include, so coming up, we'll be in the fall, in October, on October 22nd, we'll be hosting our Distinguished Alumni ceremony. Now, this year, I must mention that all of our events for the remainder of 2020 will be virtual, but it's presented some really unique new ways that we're able to connect with people, and even to both, I should mention, both Nick and Colin, who are not local. Nick is in Colorado, Colin is in Texas right now, and still engaged with the program. So it does allow this virtual component for us to reach some of our alumni who might not be able to typically be in person with us. So we will host that Distinguished Alumni event. Students can sign up to view and participate. It'll be an online event on October 22nd. We also host a variety of networking and engagement events. We've done previously trivia nights, and along with you, Erin and Melanie, with student involvement, we've done alumni night at outdoor movie nights when you host the movie nights on campus. The next event, which we have coming up in just a few weeks, is an alumni webinar. It's essentially a happy hour type event where we feature an alumna of Harper, Christina Gardbo, who is the owner of Chicago Culinary Kitchen. So if you are aware of that highly rated restaurant they've been on, Check Please, she's gonna host and talk about barbecue and barbecue. It'll be a really fun activity for people to call in and listen to, for alumni and friends, as well as students if they're interested. Another area which we've really branched out in the past couple of years is mentoring. And so we do have a mentoring focus program actually, where we do have this going into the fall, will be our third annual virtual mentoring program. And this program really connects students with and pairs them with distinguished alumni. So it gives them the opportunity to connect and just pick their brain, talk to them about their career trajectory, get advice, guidance from them, and it's all virtual. And we have done this last year through our Harper Connect platform, which I'll talk about in a minute. But they connect via the platform or via phone, text, through video chat, so it's all virtual. So they don't need to be in the same location. We started this before, a couple years ago, but now it's particularly and working really well that we have this already in place. So students should look for that information once the semester ends, coming out via the typical communication channels. We've also hosted a speed mentoring first time last year, where students, it was a take on speed dating, where students had the opportunity to rotate through about 3 or 4 or 5 alumni and talk with them for about 10 or 15 minutes a piece, and really just be able to get some ideas on career paths, and just really pick their brain on how did they become successful, how did they carve their path out for themselves. And we're looking to host that again as well in the spring, whether it's a virtual or in-person event. And then just finally, I wanted to touch on our Harper Connect, which I talked about earlier. So Harper Connect, we're really excited about this. We launched it last October. It is our online networking platform that is open to both students and alumni. It's at alumni.harper.edu. alumni.harpercollege.edu. And you can think of this as a LinkedIn for both students and alumni. So students are welcome to sign up, encouraged to sign up as students, and then remain connected through this platform as alumni. It has, much like LinkedIn or a Facebook, it has a alumni. It shows the different areas where people study, is the focus of study. There is a news feed, there's a job board. It links to all of Harper's social media channels. You can join an affinity group through Harper Connect, and there's upcoming events listed on the site as well. So it's really a one-stop shop for our alumni if they're interested in knowing what's going on with the program or looking to connect with other alumni. A great component of this platform is the mentoring component. Students and alumni can sign on, and right now over 70% of our alumni in the platform have indicated they're willing to mentor or help. So students can look for someone who is in their career area or their career goal area and reach out to them with any questions or even, internship opportunities, things like that. So that is all available through the platform.
Wonderful. It sounds like so many great opportunities. Nick and Colin, why do you feel it's important to stay involved as a Harper alum?
I'll jump on that one first. For me, it was just that I was in an extraordinary position where I got to learn a lot about Harper, and not just sort of the student body I was taking classes with, but the faculty, staff, and alumni that had come through. And to me, it was that I saw how Harper went, a little bit of Harper goes a long way. It was like, I hate to sound so like markety about it, but it's like, it's affordable in the way that a $500 scholarship there makes a real dent in your tuition. And you've got people from all walks of life and all kinds of situations trying to get their education and get themselves better off. And that sort of, that mission, what that does for people, and just sort of the proportion of good it does for people, I just couldn't not be a part of that. I wanted to continue to help out in the way that other people did for me when I was there. And so, for me, it was just that. I wanted to be the person that I so much valued while I was a student there.
Being able to and learn from all these different individuals that have gone through Harper College, that's a valuable resource there. Networking, being able to share your common experiences, maybe learn from those other experiences that you might have had that they didn't have. And on top of that, once a hawk, always a hawk is kind of where I come from in terms of the sports aspect. We are a community, and I see it as, the future going forward, being able to have those networking connections that lead you to that next opportunity.
Great, thank you. Now, my next question is for all three of you. From the alumni perspective, what advice do you have for current students as they are about to begin their fall 2020 semester?
I'm kind of jealous, honestly, of the situation that they're walking into, because the generation of students that are starting this semester, are in such a transformational time for the workplace and for all sorts of industries. And so my sense would be that it's never too early to just do that thing. You don't need someone to tell you that you know enough to do something. You can just go try and do it. And the sooner you start, the better off you'll be. So where that connects to what I'm saying is that, there's all sorts of challenges and problems to solve with the workplace in every industry right now. And who better than the generation that grew up in this way than them to solve these problems? So I would say just approach it with that sort of mindset. Look at how you can help folks, look at how you can make change, and look at how you can make a positive impact with the thing you do right now, not after you get your degree, not after you transfer, not once you have your first job. You know, do it right now. That's what I would say.
Yeah, and I'll go next. We all know this is a tricky semester that we're going into, and you know, my advice to students would be, you know, the Harper, as we've seen from our Harper alumni and the stories that we learn and share, that there's such a tenacity and drive within our students that I think isn't going to quit. You know, given all that's going on in the world right now, I would recommend to our students to take advantage of everything. As Nick and Colin talked about when they were students, how many things they took advantage of and how many opportunities. The opportunities are there. And within the alumni program, we have mentoring. We have alumni who are just waiting to connect with students and looking to pay it forward. Like the two who are on the call today, Nick and Colin, they have, you know, connected and stay connected and, you know, work on behalf of the students, remembering their time as a student. So I would encourage students to not only connect with you guys and student involvement, but look at the alumni program, look at the mentoring, look at the opportunities. They're there. They're there for you. So, you know, there's a large constituency of alumni out there rooting for our current students, as was evident when the Harper Educational Foundation created an emergency fund to support students. The amount of alumni that came and gave back to that fund, remembering their student experience, just blew everyone away. So the alumni are there for students, and I would recommend, you know, checking out the program and taking advantage of the things that we're offering. And I'll pass it over to Colin.
Yeah, I guess this is going to be a little bit harder to maybe compound on. You know, some of the advice that I want to give to students that are going to be entering fall of 2020. You know, this is, I would say, opportunity here. You know, even whether you're a student or, you know, full-time worker right now, we're all in this new environment together, and we're navigating it as we go. Take advantage of these new virtual platforms. I mean, they're going to be here to stay. I'm a full believer that a lot of stuff is going to be integrated, and even if you are not the most tech savvy student in media, so just even on those specific concepts, they will pay dividends down the line. Virtual organizations, you know, skill building of any sort. That is one key thing I will say, but also on top of, I'm going to dig into a little bit of my past when I actually ran into a few students. They originally got into Brown University, you know, big Ivy League. Everyone thinks, you know, okay, this is the best school ever. You know, what are you doing here at Harper College? And they approached me because they were in a couple of my math courses at the time. And I was thinking they already knew what they were doing. They were just taking easy credits just to transfer. They, you know, were thankful for the resources Harper College has provided. Harper College is spot on in terms of getting you prepared for that next level, getting you ready and giving you a taste of what that college experience is going to be. And I think that we will be a pioneer in it going forward.
Thank you all so much for that advice for our upcoming students for fall 2020. And thank you all for joining us today and sharing such great information. Shannon, for students or alumni who are looking to become involved with the alumni program, how do they get in touch with you?
Great. Thank you so much. And again, thanks for hosting us today. This was a really wonderful opportunity. You know, we have several opportunities to engage and become involved. Both Nick and Colin actually sit on our alumni committee. This is a steering committee, if you will, for the alumni program made up of alumni, and we do invite current students to join this committee as well. So if students are interested in helping to formulate the direction of the alumni program, this is an opportunity. I also encourage students to check out our upcoming events and attend an event, now virtually, but in the future, once we get back to being in person, attend an event in person and check it out and start making those connections now. And finally, I really recommend students to joining that Harper Connect platform, and that's alumni.harpercollege.edu. And by joining Harper Connect, you actually are on the platform, but you're opting into receiving communication from us as well, such as our e-newsletter, upcoming event emails, and things like that. If there are any questions going forward, or if somebody wants to reach out to me, they can email alumni@harpercollege.edu. And we're also on the main page, the alumni link on the main landing page of the Harper website, so they can find us there too. So thanks again so much, Erin and Melanie, for hosting us today. And thanks to Nick and Colin for participating on behalf of our alumni.